Not all 6 million Jewish people were killed in concentration camps. Over 1 million of us died in these acts of murder. Who committed them and how were they committed? They were committed by specially trained troops by the Gestapo, the SS, with the collaboration of the Ukrainian and Polish police. So you have here killers, and a killer is a criminal. So you might think perhaps that Hitler went to his prisons, opened the prisons and said to the criminals, okay, go ahead and murder the Jews. But that was not the case. The SS and Gestapo were educated people, were professional people, and they should have known the value of life. But they became killers by choice. And I will tell you something. They were despicable cowards, because the only time they felt brave is when they were shooting men, women, and children into graves. I faced them 3 times at the graves. They didn't have any mercy at all, none. They didn't all live in my hometown. They lived in the city of Chortkov. They came at 2 o'clock on their motorcycles and cars, went directly to the Ukrainian and Polish police, and together they surrounded the ghetto tightly, and then they attacked each home individually. If there were 2 doors, both doors broke simultaneously. They turned over the furniture, they broke all the windows and everything that was breakable. They made a tremendous amount of noise to scare the people who might be sitting maybe under the floor or in a hiding place. After they finished making all this noise, they remained in the house quietly listening. If a baby cried or somebody coughed, and babies did cry and people did cough, and this is how hiding places were discovered. And then when they took the people out, those who resisted, because many did, were shot instantly, and the rest were taken to open graves and massacred there. We survived this action. Once they left the ghetto, we could walk on the ghetto again. And my mother went outside and she found 2 little girls, 5 and 6, sitting there on the sidewalk and crying. They were taken out with their parents to the graves, and the children got lost and came back into the ghetto. My mother brought them into our room. A few days later, a young girl, about 16, by the name of Lena, showed up, and she was crying because she lost her parents, but somebody told her that her 2 little sisters were with us. And I remember the day Lena entered our room. My brother Zachary was there. And I looked at these 2 beautiful teenagers, and my heart went out to them. They were so lovely. Life was just beginning for them. And I thought with such anguish in my heart, how are these children going to live when these actions will continue? Where was Lena during this action? She was in the village helping a farmer's son to enter high school. After a while, the same farmer asked Lena to come and teach another boy, and she agreed to take her sisters also to this village. And in the meantime, Lena and Zachary became very good friends, and so they decided it would be a good idea for all 3 girls to be away from the ghetto in a relative safety in the village. Lena worked very hard. The boy passed the examination, and then the farmer took the 3 children, tied them up, put them on a wagon, brought them to the police, and the police murdered them. You can imagine how my brother felt. How would you feel? He went to the farmer, beat the farmer up, and he could have killed him. But my brother was not a killer. But from that day on, he and his friends organized a group called Nekama, revenge in Hebrew. There were some farmers who took Jewish families into hiding, kept them a little while, and then told them they're taking them to a safer place and killed them themselves, or betrayed them and brought them to the police, and the police killed them. And that was devastating, because if a Nazi kills you, a Nazi kills you, but your own neighbors, people you loved and trusted, kind of a coldness grips your heart. And I know that feeling, because I was betrayed by people I trusted. And when that happened, my brother and his friends burned the barn of the farmer, beat him up, but again, did not kill, because they were not killers. Sometimes my brother was missing for half a day. This time he was missing for 3 days. And I went all over the ghetto looking for him. No one has seen him. In the late afternoon, I came across a group of 2 boys and 2 girls, and I heard one of the girls say, "Here comes his little sister, here comes his little sister." And I picked up and I said, "What about the sister?" One of the boys stepped forward and said, "Alicia, I will take you to your brother." We crossed the bridge, we came to the prison yard, and there was my brother hanging. And I sat down near him, and the Ukrainian policeman came out, pulled out his gun, put it to my head and said, "Ja тебе застрелю, I will shoot you." And I say, "Стреляй, shoot, I don't care." I really didn't care at all. The following day, he did that same thing. And then at night, when the policeman went into the prison, my brother's friends came. We cut my brother down, brought him to the cemetery, and buried him there. And I swore on his grave that if I live, I'll be his silenced voice. And I have literally dedicated my life to being that silenced voice.